Well, I think so many people are so quick to judge and so you know based on just outside things, you got to really look at the whole picture and everything and see if they really, they might, something might have happened that day and they might have just had a rough day or something, or are they pretty true all the way through and stuff? And then in how they act and do their business, are they pretty true and act and how they act with their business across the board with people? Do they, interact the same way and follow the same guidelines and stuff with everybody they interact with when it comes to business dealings too, not just in the relationship part of it, but in business dealings too? Because,
Right.
if you see so many, you hear about so many companies doing this one way, but then they turn around and do something else, well, as entrepreneurs, I think in some ways we're held to even a little bit higher standard. So therefore, we have to make sure that when we interact with other people, we're basically interacting along a same general guideline with them too, that, flows through and carries across that, so that part of that,
I think that,
like and trust carries through.
Yeah, and I think there's that unwritten code that we all have as entrepreneurs. I mean, we understand that we don't want to be putting out negative stuff out there or negative posts. That's just not going to cut it.
No.
I mean, if we're rippling that kind of negativity, what's going to happen with the rest of the people that we relate to? We send out the messages, and either the messages are positive or they're negative. And, I've seen when it comes to social media, we all know that social media is like, oh, yeah, okay. Everybody wants to look like, oh, wow, look at all these people that I have, look at all my fans. But when it comes down to the real picture, what is the real true picture?
Well,
how many of those fans are you really connected with and have a quality relationship?
Social media has made it kind of easy to acquire what I like to call novelty friends. Like the novelty friend where it's like, oh, I know you and we talk, but, I don't know you the way I know my girlfriend or the way I know Kareem or Marsha or Sharon or Fran or Dan or Micah, I mean, you guys are all working with us. This is a lot different. This is a mastermind. We want to make it better every week. That's why we keep picking topics from Entrepreneur.com, because, guys, for everybody out there watching this, if you want to get ideas and you want to learn and grow your business, how to think properly, what other people have done before you, go to Entrepreneur.com and read those articles. There's amazing stuff on there that covers every topic and every challenge an entrepreneur is going to face. And it's an endless plethora of topic ideas for our show. So I just want to say thank you to Entrepreneur.com, and Kareem and I are looking forward to partnering with Entrepreneur Network, which is a subsidiary of Entrepreneur.com, which is their YouTube channel and stuff like that. So we're pretty excited for that. And just a great site for you guys to go and get some general knowledge, some ideas, some business strategies, success strategies, positive thinking strategies. It's a really great site. I really enjoy it a lot.
I do too. And the interesting thing, we were talking about social media, and you have to have those people that are just novelty friends, which I have a feeling like, oh, he's my buddy on Facebook. I talked to him. He hit me up on Facebook. We talked a little bit, but then there's people who you actually know and trust, like me and you. We actually hit it off.
Yes,
I think
we do.
one of the big reasons we hit it off and we're doing this now is because individuality. That's a major second point. I think it's almost akin to the first one, because here's the interesting thing. Someone can show me screenshots of how much they're making, and they've done it before. I made $1 billion on ClickBank, whether that's true or not. I made this much. And I can see that forever, and I have. But if I don't connect with them on an individual level, even if they have the best product in the world, it's very, very hard for me to actually step up, integrate, and actually want to work with them. And the second point to me, individuality is the second most important thing, because once I trust somebody, if I don't connect with them on an individual level, then it doesn't really get
work.
It
doesn't work.
Really
Yeah.
work.
No.
Really get me to want it, to be motivated to do it.
Do you remember how we met when I first contacted you and You downloaded the book from me, and I called you up. You didn't answer it first, and then I called you again, and then do you remember how we met? How I just started talking about you, and I wanted to know more about you and what was driving you, and what made you download the book, where you were at, and what you were looking for. Do you remember how that all started?
I remember it, yeah. I remember I was sitting on Facebook and I got this long message from Chris. I'm like, oh God, here we go, another network marketer. And the problem I had, this is where individuality comes and trust a little bit. I was getting pitched from people from this company and that company, explosion, this, there, and everything, the other. And I'd say, okay, I'll take a look. And I would take a look and they're like, you ready to sign up? I'd say, no, I don't even know anything about you. I don't know what you are as an individual. I don't trust you at all. And Chris, me and him just started talking. I did explain what I was doing too, Chris. But the cool thing was that Chris and Marcia, when I met them, because I met them at the same time, were really open to learning about me as an individual and building that trust up. But it wouldn't have worked really as well as it did because I talked to a lot of marketers. I was working with different people before. If there's not that individuality connection, and that's kind of what I want to touch on here and ask you, are there specific individuals that you work with that have a good personality that is symbiotic with you and some that you don't? And some of those experiences.
Yeah, I mean, how would you describe symbiotic relationships from parasitic relationships? You know,
symbiotics, you get along together.
Right.
You have the same ideals and end goals in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Parasitic
Absolutely.
is somebody says, oh, okay, I don't have this end goal in mind. I just want to get X, Y, and Z.
You know, and Marcia brought up a good point with me the other day that I didn't really want to face, and I got kind of pissed off. And I'm realizing that Marcia was more right than I thought. I was talking to her about some negative comments on some of my videos that I do on my other channel. And she goes, well, what are you doing to attract these situations? And at first I was very defensive. I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything. You know, I'm making beer reviews and I'm just trying to have some fun and educate some people on beer. And let's face it, there are trolls on YouTube. There's people who go out of their way just to go and be rude to people. That's what YouTube's full of. But these were other beer enthusiasts that were kind of being rude because they thought I didn't know what I was talking about, and they were just being very rude. And I guess to an extent, when I get into the craft beer world, hey, I'm going to have to take crap from people who, you know, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I've also discovered that there's a couple of other relationships that I'm currently in with certain friends that I you know, won't get into. That I've decided that I'm going to look at those friendships really closely, and I'm going to decide that, you know, if they're worth it or not. And just really taking a look at that and learning that, okay, if I get rid of certain people that I don't really need around that are not as symbiotic as I'd like them to be, then I can expect better friends to come along to replace that energy that I've cut ties with, or that person I've cut ties with. So, Marcia, I want to thank you for that. I just felt like you didn't really understand that there's people on YouTube that just go out of their way to be rude and obnoxious to people's channels for absolutely no reason. So I don't think in all cases a person is directly responsible for something like that. I think in certain cases they are. But anyway, it's just, you know, it's about that parasitic symbiotic relationship. And, you know, the third point I want to bring up now is about value. And legend has it that Steve Jobs used to go into board meetings at Apple with no shoes or socks on. How was he able to get away with that, guys? I mean, he provided so much value to the company that he could get away with it. When you create value by moving someone away from fear into new possibilities and create the value, the currency will come. What do you think of that, Kareem, Marcia, whoever?
What do I think of that?
Yeah.
I have an idea. Well, let's see if it works. Okay, nobody left. And I don't have shoes on.
Well, Sharon,
honestly, when I was programming for my professor, I don't know why I did this. Maybe I was crazy. Some days I was feeling lazy. And I would literally go out in my Adidas slippers. It's like below 10. Go and do work for him and learn different things. He's like, are you crazy? Like, why don't you have your shoes on? And honestly, see, Dan doesn't have his shoes or socks on either. Honestly, I said, you know, I'm here, I'm doing the work, I'm committed. And there was an interesting point that a lot of people saw that even he and my other professor said, like, this dude's crazy. Why does he have sandals in the middle of winter? Maybe I was just having a bro phase. But it's also the fact of I was there to get a job done, whether I have a T-shirt on, whether I have shoes or sandals, or, you know, in some of these calls, you don't even see someone. So, you know, Marcia could be in her pajamas right now. I wouldn't know. You know, Dan Sissick.
Or a bikini.
Or a bikini. You know, Dan Sissick could be in a chicken suit. And as long as they show up, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You know, I put my Donald Trump mask
I would
on.
my Garfield suit.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
But, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, there's things I do and don't like, and I'm not going to go into them, but I mean, he wears just like an athletic T-shirt every day, and he'd be like, "Oh no, put on like, you know, a Gucci suit or something." But to him, he'd be like, "Oh, what? Why? I'm still going to work. I'm still getting the job done." So it's not always necessarily. I'm not gonna say if you go to an interview in your T-shirt like this, and then be like, "What's up, bro? Can I?" that you'll get hired.
You're wearing a Michigan Wolverine shirt. Nice.
But maybe I'm actually proving today by dressing down that you can create value without necessarily, I'm not going to say dressing poorly, but not dressing in a crazy way like Steve Jobs. So what are your thoughts on
that? Well, I think, oh, go ahead, Dan. Sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to say, well, I don't think really what you're wearing is has to really matter. I think it's what's coming out, what's being put forth, and what's being shared and given, and everybody takes it at the value that they perceive it to be. You know, it's, you know, you either agree with it, you take value out of it, or you don't. But, you know, yeah, some people might look at you and not put as much value on it because of how they perceive how they think you should dress or look, or something like that.
You know, Dan, the funny thing is, as a metalhead, I face that because you know me, I used to wear all my chains and my metal T-shirts and my hair out and stuff like that and my bracelets. And at the time, I was very defiant to, you know, compromising. But then I realized, okay, this is a business. This is a mastermind that I want people to take seriously, and I want them to look at it and get value from it. That means that I have to look like a person who can provide them with value. I have to look like a successful person. And I'm not famous for music. At least, you know, that's not what I do with black metal. So I can't dress like that and be taken seriously because I'm not in music to make money. But, however, as an entrepreneur, I am doing the Entrepreneur Power Hour. The videos we make, we're also going to be doing professional life coaching through Pay Me What I'm Worth and things like that. I got to look like somebody that can help someone else become successful. So I think personal image in the professional arena is very important. And Marcia had to drill that into my head for years. And then when Josh Bendowski told me about it, that I was like, okay, you know, these people have a point. I want to listen to them. They're just trying to help me. You know, they're giving me advice. They're trying to help me appear better to people as opposed to offend people. People will be more attracted to me because I have a professional looking appearance. And now I'm proud to dress nice for my show. I have professional lighting. I have a professional green screen. You know, I invested about $300 into this studio. And I still have the umbrellas coming, which are going to reflect the light better and all that stuff. So very, very important that Kareem and I project a professional studio image and a professional image. Absolutely vital for any business, I believe, that you got to have that professional image and that professional persona. Absolutely.